and thanks for joining Guided Mindfulness for Art. I'll introduce Jennifer. Jennifer Evan is a board-certified neurologist and a UCNS-accredited headache medicine subspecialist. She completed her medical training at Indiana University School of Medicine, followed by a residency in neurology at the Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. She then went on to complete a fellowship in headache medicine and facial pain at the University of Colorado and stayed on to join the faculty as an assistant professor of neurology for 3 years. Her role also included working as an attending neurologist, staffing the neurology resident clinic, and she currently works at the Jesse Brown Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Chicago. That's awesome that you work with veterans. And then there's a lot more in there, but I think that's good for now.
Many of you know me. We've done a couple of these in 24 and 23, I think even. So we will jump in there and people can join if they're a little bit late. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And go ahead and start this PowerPoint that I made for today's session. So welcome everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Lisa. And we are going to do a session of mindful art today. Our theme is going to be air and wind. If some of you have seen any of the prior sessions in the last 1 to 2 years, I tend to take a nature element and use a theme, sometimes or often seasonally appropriate, but we haven't done air or wind yet. And of course, as you can see featured here is Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, and I think this is an excellent visualization of what I imagine a breeze or wind to be that he was depicting in his famous painting. So we're going to start by thinking a little bit, doing a little mindful reflection, and then we're going to dive into the art part of today's session. So some quotes that I like to kind of get your mind relaxed and thinking about our inspiration this week. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. Regretting the past is like chasing after the wind. The wind is scary during a tornado or life in general. Never know when a gust is going to come in your direction and change everything. A great wind is blowing, and that gives you either imagination or a headache. So I especially like that quote from Catherine the Great, since, of course, we're here for Miles for Migraine and headache. A couple other sort of inspiration elements here. Art is a line around your thoughts by the famous artist Gustav Klimt. Art should be something that liberates your soul, provokes the imagination, and encourages people to go further. To be an artist is to believe in life. Swift as the wind, quiet as the forest, conquer like the fire, steady as the mountain. And as you can see here, 2 paintings of individuals who are sort of lost in the wind, enjoying the breeze or the windy day. So that's what I want everyone to kind of visualize and feel. And also, you know, feel free to, if you're inside or in an office room, feel free to open a window for a breeze or even go outside for today's session if you're on a phone or a laptop that has the ability to do that. I want everyone to kind of get lost in the air and really feel the inspiration for this week. So as we start here in the next couple minutes, we are going to be in the present moment. So try not to think about other things that are going on and really let yourself forget about the rest of the world for our 30, 40-minute session here today. Forget about the outside pressures that you may have, the work week, children, whatever may be going on, and really breathe in the current moment. 2 more artistic pieces here to help you reflect and inspire. In the top left image, we see that same wavy kind of technique that Vincent van Gogh used in his background to exemplify the wind or the movement of air. And then the bottom picture showing you how strong air can be. For something we can't see, telling you to paint air or paint wind, we at face value can't see it, and we think that we can only feel it. But remember, wind is the movement of air molecules, and we can certainly paint movement. So keep that in mind as you create your mindful art piece today. We also want to incorporate reflection in our art piece today. So again, be in the present moment and let your mind wander here in the current moment, not to all of these other external pressures, and reflect, like this reflection in the water in the bottom left picture. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Allow your mind to wander like the air. Allow it to move, to flow like the breeze, and separate your worries and your thoughts from the surface. So I'm going to kind of flash some of these images up as we go through our inspiration this session. And we're going to have about 30 minutes to create an artistic piece. And then at the end, we'll be open to sharing. And again, nobody has to share, but anyone who is wanting to can share, and we can show our pieces and talk about some of our thoughts or inspirations, or how we used our theme today. And you can use anything you have. I myself have some graphite pencils, I have a pen, I have a colored pen, like a highlighter marker, and of course some of my little tricolor pencil tips here. So I'll sometimes flash what I'm drawing here on the screen too, but we can all start now with our mindful session of art.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have anything to paint, or I just have a coloring book.
Yeah, totally fine. It doesn't have to be paint.
I
It
just don't
doesn't
have
have to
any, I
be.
have painting stuff. I just don't have anything prepared for today because
Oh yeah, you can use regular paper, colored pencils.
I just have a coloring book because I was out today and I just
Yeah,
got
that's
home.
totally fine. I think that's totally fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Jennifer, may I ask if we can see what your drawing might look like, just to kind of have a little
Absolutely.
inspiration? Oh, beautiful.
I'm using a lot of lines and movement, like Vincent van Gogh's piece for my inspiration. And then I'll
Thank you
leave it.
for that.
Yep, I'll leave it here in case anyone wants to look.
We lost Jennifer, but keep drawing and we'll get her back. All right, we got her back.
Sorry, I'm back. My laptop closed on it. Share. Share. In about 5 to 7 minutes, we can start sharing some of our works, and it doesn't mean you necessarily have to stop what you're working on, but we're coming up at the 30-minute mark in a few minutes. And in about 2 minutes, we'll start sharing. All right, what I will do now is I will open up the floor for anyone who wants to show us what they've been working on the past half hour, and you don't have to, is always the caveat. I usually share first just to kind of break the ice in case anyone wants to share after they see some of the other works. So let me see here. This is what I kind of came up with, and I'll talk a little bit about what I put together here, as long as it's on the screen. Yep. So like I said a little bit earlier in the session, I used Vincent van Gogh's piece a little bit for the movement here with the swirling, curving lines, kind of like he incorporated in his sky with the beautiful blues and yellows of Starry Night. And then as I went from there, I used lines and dots to show movement and also the width of the lines and the size of the dots to kind of show movement. Which to me helped me kind of visualize air as much as I could. And then from there, it started to get me thinking of a kite. So I drew a little bit of a kite shape. And then that made me think about a week and a half ago, my 4-year-old daughter flying her kite in the front yard. And she was just running around in circles, trying to get the kite to take off. And there was a little bit of a breeze in the yard. And sometimes they would go really far up in the sky and she would be super delighted. And other times it was just dragging around the grass. So I drew some grass at the bottom, kind of moving in the air, some longer grass in the yard. But it was just a reflection that I had as I was kind of taking the 30 minutes here to think about air and movement and wind and how she was trying to get the wind to come, but the wind comes when it comes and you can't really control it. And then when she was running just right and it would pick up the breeze, then it really went in the air and was flying like a kite should. And then other times just kind of dragging on the ground. And so I think that's a pretty good metaphor for our life in general, that sometimes things are going well and things can be taking off and we can be in flight, and other times we feel like we're dragging, but the winds change and the winds, they change. So sometimes it's going to be really gusty out and sometimes there's going to be no wind at all. And I think that's kind of a lesson in patience that we have. So that was what I reflected on during the mindfulness. And if anyone else wants to show us what they put together, I'm all ears.
I think Leslie raised her hand.
Go ahead and unmute yourself, and it should enlarge the screen if you want to share anyone.
Now she's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Let's go to Aaliyah.
I see a hand. Yep.
Yep, and then we can circle back to Leslie.
Let's see.
Okay. Leslie's back and Aaliyah is quiet. So why don't we go, Leslie, if you can unmute, and then we can check in for someone else. Can you hear us, Leslie? Oh, and Aaliyah just came back in too. So.
Technology is not our forte today.
Yeah, it's not
Here I am.
Yay, we got her.
I don't know what's going on. I think it froze, and then
Oh, beautiful.
I did a thing by Van Gogh's, a Starry Night thing a while ago as a painting that it was sketched and I painted it. It was sketched at a painting place, but I don't have what me to show. It's up in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
I put it away because I'll put it up for Halloween. But
Awesome.
I was doing this.
Oh, that's nice
It has a
though.
quote on the back. On the front before you color, it says, the glory, the freedom, the passion of a letter. It's worth all the lip talk in the world. Marvel, rivalries of a bachelor.
That's really nice. I like the one you chose from your coloring book. It actually looks a lot like movement in air.
Yeah. I would have had more time prepared. I was at a woman's meeting, so I didn't get home in time
Yeah.
to get my stuff out.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about this. You can kind of do it anytime with as much or as little time as you have. I always tell people at the end of the session, if you just keep a piece of paper or a pad of paper and a marker on you, you could do it anywhere. You could sit on a bench outside of the clinic and just take 5 minutes before you return to your car and get back to, the busy world we all live in, to just jot or sketch or just let whatever your hand wants to draw come out.
Mhm.
So it doesn't really have to be anything too purposeful or too planned. But that's really nice. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. What time does this go till?
About 3:15.
It's probably four something my time then.
Oh yeah, it changes from the time zone. So
Yeah.
I'm in Central Time. So
Yeah.
2:30 to 3:15 Central.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I see a couple. So
I see Michaela
Michaela's raising her
hand.
hand, and then Aaliyah, if you're back, you can share after Michaela.
Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Michaela. Yeah.
Hi.
I wanted to share, I'm not going to be able to stay on for super long after this. But yeah, I really liked all the inspiration pieces you showed. And when you said to open your window, I did that, and I'm in Seattle, and we
Wonderful.
just had rain, and so things were pretty misty. And from
Yeah.
I'm kind of on top of a hill, and from the window that I can look out of, there's always so I think it's steam really, but there's always like a little flowy, not smokestack, but like thing that will,
Mist.
when it's a little colder. So I did a little like quick
Oh
chalk
wow.
sketch of that, and it looks really rough, but it was really fun to do.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome. What did you use to do that?
just a scrap piece of paper and then just like whiteboard chalk. So
Whiteboard
not the
chalk.
best materials. And
No,
then I
that's the coolest
also
thing. It looks
did,
like paint.
yeah, it's just like the Crayola, like cheap teacher chalk.
Wow.
And
And
then I
that's
just did a little bit of the movement study from Starry Night. So that
I
was
was gonna
really
say that
fun.
looks just like it. That's beautiful. I love
Yeah, it
how it
was
looks
really
like the
fun.
gusts of wind rolling upon itself. So yours really exemplifies what we were talking about, where you don't have to plan to have all your supplies. It doesn't have to, I think people are too, we all do, are very much, we can't do this unless it's in the schedule, it's in the plan. But sometimes the nicest thing is being impromptu. And even if we're not like, I'm not going to open the window, the AC on, all these things we think about that bog down our mind. But if you just kind of let it go, like the Frozen song, let it go, and you open your window, even though it's a little humid or a little, misty out, or it just rained, and then you kind of let yourself breathe in that air, it's something different than you normally would do. So that is wonderful that you did that and had the window open and you saw that cool little misting stuff. I love it. Thank you for sharing.
All right, we got Aaliyah back.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Let me see if I can do this. All right. I was thinking about the pain of a migraine brewing, and when you get that break in the pain, and how beautiful that sensation
Gorgeous.
is. So it's like a break in the clouds with a storm brewing. And
That is gorgeous. I love the contrast with the bright and the beautiful colors in the one corner and the darker, kind of more powerful colors in the corner. And I think what it represents, what you said, is just beautiful.
thank you.
Did you use acrylic, oils? What did
This
you
is
use?
oils, and I am an artist,
Beautiful.
so to preface this.
That's wonderful.
So,
I love to see all the different variations, from just I found some random colored pencils, or I think one session we had someone was like, I found my kids' crayons, and I was like, go for it. You don't need anything fancy. And then this shows the opposite side. If you are into art and you have art supplies, even if you normally plan your paintings and you just do something impromptu, look how beautiful it becomes. That's gorgeous.
thank you.
Love it. Now, nobody feel bad who goes after Aaliyah. You don't have to be a professional painter. Let's see if anyone else here is raising their hands. I We'll give it another minute and then I'll let you guys go on with your day. I think it's really lovely that we were all able to, I see Diana here saying she wants to share, which is great. I think it's great that everyone's, come together on a Sunday afternoon for this, just a little break in the day. So I think I was looking forward to it. I was telling Lisa before we joined, and then Diana here. You can see another piece.
Yeah, Diana, are you able to unmute? Oh, she's coming in probably from another device.
Ah,
So there she is. We see you.
oh, nice.
Um,
Outside, it looks like. I love
yeah,
it. We
looks like
have
she's just gonna
yep,
unmute.
you're muted still, so go ahead and yep.
While she's unmuting, Jennifer, I really related to there was a quote, I forget who by in the beginning of like the winds of change and like
Yep.
being in the flow, and other times it's just not gonna happen.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I think sometimes thinking about these kind of more abstract things, because we're all we're all just trying to get about our day and you have to make breakfast and go to work and have to run errands and all these things that are concrete. So sometimes thinking about the abstract, like something that's around us, but we don't really focus on is nice, both for the artistic side, but especially for the mindfulness side. And that's why we do these things, because mindfulness is this interesting topic, but it has been shown that it can really help some of our pain processing and
Mhm.
some of our chronic pain with migraine. So let's see, Diana, if
Hey,
we can hear and see you. Wonderful.
sorry for the
No, you're
technical
good.
difficulties. I'm sitting outside and I was looking at my zinnias that I grew this summer, and they're still going. I'm in North Carolina. And
Nice.
so my little pencil artwork
Oh, wonderful.
is one of the zinnias, and it is giving off both scent and a little movement, kind of a shimmy movement in the leaves, and then all of the green that surrounds me, and the sunlight, and anything that's just um, in the natural background is just sort of entering the space and adding to the beauty of the zinnia.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love the interpretation, and that's kind of the vibe that I was getting too just by looking at it when you showed it on the screen. People think that flowers and nature are they're just hanging out there. They're just kind of inanimate, but they're very much interacting with the environment and the scent particles. And it reminds me of when my child asked me, like, how do we smell? And I was like, oh man, now you're asking about neurology pathways of smell. And as a neurologist, I'm not going to get that far in with a 4-year-old, but I was like, well, the smell molecules, they go in the air and we breathe the air. So it's another example of how we can't see air, but yet we can feel it, we can experience it, and we can portray it in our visual media. So that's beautiful. And you're outside and you're in the moment and you're
Yeah,
enjoying the weather.
you can see
Oh,
the
that's gorgeous, North Carolina. I love when we get a glimpse of other areas.
green. Yeah, thank you
I'll
for
be out
doing
there all
this.
day. That's wonderful.
Thanks for doing this.
No problem. I enjoy it. And in our last minute or two, if anyone else wants to share, we're happy to all listen and see. Otherwise,
Thank
I
you
know they
again.
record the sessions and you can go back
How often do you usually have these?
uh Lisa, do you know how often? I know they rotate between the various
Yeah.
topics.
I think every month or two. I can put a link if you just give me a minute. I'll put a link in the
It's the
chat.
mild for
to the
migraines
thing.
link?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I know they have ones on the regular monthly. things I have.
Yeah, and they rotate between like poetry and
Yeah,
creative
yeah, I
writing
just haven't
and
been on it. I
visual
haven't been on it in a
media.
while. So,
Yeah, but they're all recorded, which is nice. So even if there was one from 2024, people can watch the session. It doesn't mean you have to do the same thing every time. And like I always say, you can kind of break out a pen and paper whenever you want to. If you're waiting to pick up
so
your
this is
kiddo from
I
school,
could
you
get
can
this back up if I wanted to do the actual drawing thing. This is
you can.
recorded.
Yep,
Mhm.
they put the YouTube links.
So it's on the webpage, the YouTube
I
link?
think they link them on the Miles for Migraine website. If you go to the Miles for Migraine
Okay.
website, they have the
Okay.
YouTube links there. Yep.
Okay.
And if you just go to YouTube
Oh
and
yeah, you can also
type
find it that way.
in Miles for Migraine, the
Yep.
channel
Okay.
will come up and you can find them. And there's hundreds of them
Yep.
probably at this point. So
All right.
From all the past years.
yeah, that's why we
Good.
record them.
Don't be
Okay.
afraid to just have a pencil or pen on you and a notepad and draw anything around you. I love the examples we've been shown by some of the participants today, and I thank everyone for coming and taking just a little break of their day today to kind of be mindful and enjoy some art.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you,
Okay.
Jennifer.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Have a
Bye.
good
Thank you,
rest of your
Jennifer.
day.